Hello everyone, my name is Oliver. I'm 7 years old. Now we're with the teacher Prince Stuart. Community. Hello everybody, welcome back to American Textbook Reading. I'm Prince Stuart. And lesson 3 about textbook now. In lesson 3 we're going to be talking about home, hood, but specifically community. I talk about what is a community. You discover a community have many places and helpers. Community, many different places, and there have many people who help you live your life. Let's take a look at long DSD. But first, let's talk about community. What exactly is community? Community is a place where people live, work, and play together. Think about where you live. You might live in a village, a town, or a big city, but each place has a community. A community in a village that's the whole villages of the community live a larger town in a big city. The city isn't a community. That's too big. You can know everybody in the city, but you probably know everybody in your neighborhood. You know most of the people in your neighborhood. The store that your mom go to, you probably know the people in the store. You go to the store a lot. The big court you go, you probably know the bake you buy. There's a places you go to, and of course, it's school. In your neighborhood, you know the teacher and you know the student there. They are part of your community. It's a place where people live, work, and play together. Work and study, by the way. Picture a community. A community is a smaller area, and where you can walk around, not a big city. It's a small part of the city where your house is, where there are places around where you can do things. That's your community. Community is a place where you go into the business and you play and you work and you live there. So that's the community. What kind of thing can be found in a community? Well, we're going to find neighbor. A neighbor is a person living near your house. Those are your neighbors. Who are your neighbors? Think about that. People living near your house, those people are your neighbors. By the way, people living right next door, we call them next door neighbor. Next door neighbor. Next door because they're right next door. Living in an apartment, you go after door. And next door across, that's your 옆집 앞동. 옆집 앞동 is next door neighbor. There are people who live right next to you. Next door neighbor. Neighbor also can be people who live in your neighborhood or community. People who live near they can be used as huge. Everybody who lives in the area of the house using your neighbors. Probably you know many of your neighbors. Okay, let's move on. Address. The address is a description of very details, numbers, and words that describe exactly where you live. The details. For example, the numbers of 150 West. 405 Street are named place. This is an address. You need to know the address of a place where you work or live. Yeah, of course, now know your address. Where you live, your parents know the address of place where they work. If you want to send a letter or package to somebody at the house or the office, you need to know the address. You need the address on the envelope or package in post office census. An address is details. So how can I find the person's house? How can I find the person's office? I need to know the address. What's your address? Think about it. What's your address? Do you know it? You don't ask your mom. Write it down. Keep it with you. Important information to know. Okay. We also have symbol. A symbol interesting. I know about symbols. What is symbol? A symbol is a sign, a number, or letter with a certain meaning. Look at these symbols. What are these two symbols in a community, in a neighborhood? There are many places that we can find very easily by just looking at the symbols. Look at the whole word. Look at the picture or number or a sign, and we can know right away. That is a men's bathroom. That's a room. Go to the right bathroom. So you will know that quickly looking at the symbol on the sign. I know where to go. A symbol, a sound, letting us know where things are very quickly. A symbol for the bath. So symbols are a bathroom. Where's the bathroom? A John showed this. Where's the bathroom? I see this symbol, you know right away. Also symbol where the taxi stand and the bus stop. Perhaps you try to find your school sometime and see a picture of school with an airplane napping. There's a symbols that help us quickly know by the way their things are. So symbols are very useful. Okay, for the find symbol, we find symbol on a map. A map is drawing of the Earth's surface, showing the position of things. This can be a map. Usually we talk about map, talking about street map. A street map is very useful because it tells you where the streets are, houses in the intersect, and where places are. If you look at the map closely, you can see many symbols. Symbols are all letters. You see H. You see some places like P. Pay sharply for hotel or hospital. P is usually for parking. If driving your car, you want to know where can I park. Find a P and park there. A map is a show different street, many symbols on the map. And did you know about direction? Direction like north, south, west, east. Being go right, go left, go straight ahead. Those are also direction. Pater position and north, south, east, or west. Usually you look at have north on top, south on the bottom. On the right side we have east. On the left side we have west. This is like our compass marker. Compass on a map. Compass. Our compass direction. As compass, it will show you which way is north. I can figure out. Also, direction are also right. You can say left. You can also say straight ahead. Straight ahead. If you're in a taxi and you're giving the taxi driver direction, you can say go right, go left, go straight ahead, go north, go east, go west, go south. It's very important to know this direction. These are street signs. You're going north, as in the same 94 and south, and in the 94. Very important to know which way you're going on the map. Don't go in the opposite direction. Now we talk about left. I talk a little bit about symbols, right? Look at the map. Look at that map before. Sometimes there's an H, sometimes there's a P. How do you know what those mean? On every map there's a map key. A key to understand it. The map. A map key are the words or icons. You know icons on your computer. There are many icons. A computer desktop There's tons of symbols too. There's symbol for the different polar. The maps are icons. They're icons. The little picture. These are icons. They show the meaning of the symbols on the map. These are icons. They're also symbols. Have you seen this icon? With the symbols. This icon and symbol are really the same thing. Oops. Let's do that again. Icon is the same as symbol. These are the same things. Icon, symbols. We see this icon. I see the symbol. We need that. Open book. And that we, of course, that library. And 8 in a circle in a red square is a hospital. It's a strange looking or old style building. The court is a museum. Here, what's this? It's fire hose wrapped around, closed out with a fire station. Different maps may have different symbols. Not all maps have the same symbol. Look at the map key. It's usually in the corner of the map. You see the symbols of that map key. Different map use different symbols, so not all the way the same. Look at the map to find the right symbols. Understand what those means. We have a chart. Let's see community places on the map key. We talk about some different places on the different symbol. What are some different symbols? Can you find a map? What are some places you might find or use every day in your community? I have here a park. A park is the right place. You run, you can play, you can throw balls with your friend or run with your dog in the park. Store, of course, is where you can go and buy things. A store community or neighborhood, a property store, you can buy a lot. I have a favorite grocery store. I go there almost all the time for the grocery. I'll take you with her. You get to know the people. If a small store, you get to know those people. Next, I have a hospital. Hopefully, you don't have to go to a hospital. If you're sick or you're injured, you might have to go to a hospital. Hopefully, you don't have to go. But if that happens, there's a hospital in your neighborhood if you know to. A theater. Go to a theater to watch movies. I like to watch movie in a big theater, not at home. In a big theater, you get more sound, bigger screen. You go to a theater, and you can go with your friend or your family, and you go to a library. You want to read books. I want to check out some different books. You can go to the library. There are books to look at. School, of course, school very important. Hopefully the school is nearby. It's not too far away. I can walk to school, hopefully. But school court is where you go every day. It's part of your community. And in fact, school is like a small community by itself. Of students, teachers, principal, parents, all of these people are drawn together for the same purpose, to learn and to study and form community by itself. We talk about different types of communities. A community where you live, there's a school where you study, your father's office, that's like another community by itself. That's different types of communities that have different places, different people to where we go and what to do it. And live in one place, and that's community for living. Study some place, that's community for studying. And work in a place, that's a come for working. Out of this community place, we can live, work, and play in your community. Okay, let's move on. Now, the exercise, we have matching the word and a definition. We are here, community, neighbor. Address, symbol, map, that's easy, map, direction, direction. Those are our words that matter to us to a proper first definition. Number 1, a place. It is a place where people live, work, and play. There are too many things in this place. We just talk about there's a different kind of communities. Community is a place where people live, work, and play. Community together about a neighborhood and what you live. I'll talk about different community like your school. Or a father's office can be different community. Okay, let's move on. Number 2, a detail of a place. A details place details and numbers and letters that tell somebody exactly where you live. I'll say, what is your address? What's your address? Okay, very good. Now a person living near your house. I talk about that. There are really 2 kinds of people who live near your house. People who live right next door. Yep, G's and who live in the area. And use that all. Those people, of course, those are neighbor. They're now neighbor. Next door neighbor, yep, teach more. Just neighbor in your area. Neighbor where you live. Let's move on. I am for a sign, a number, or a letter. It can be many different, as represented by many different ways. It can be a sign, and you see with a picture on it, a number, it's a number something, or 5, 6, 8, letter H or P. Whatever it is, we have to know a certain meaning. A symbol. There is a symbol. It's a sign, number, a letter that have a special meaning. It stands and know right away. If you can, that's where it is. I really need to look at a map key to figure out exactly what that symbols mean. Number 5. The point or position, such as north, south, east, or west. Think about that. Think about which way is north. Right now, we're assisting which way is north. And if you think about north, then point towards north. You're pointing in that direction. In the north direction. Think about east, and point in that direction. That's the east. Or west. Okay, those different directions that you have. Was very important to know what's west north, what's west east, south, and west. Where using the map will help you go to the right direction. Okay, let's finally go over to 6. Number 6, a drawing of the Earth's surface showing the position of things they talk about, right? I need to know. So it is map. So let's move on to our community helper. Talk about different places in a community. What about people? What are some of the people who live in your community? And these people are people who help you out, or who are ready to help you if you're in trouble, if you're in danger, you need some help, or just need help with your daily life. Let's take a look at the different people. 4 different people you can see here. It's important people in your community. Community helpers. They help you if you need it. First, there's a firefighter. There is starting job. Many young people want to be firefighter when they grow older. A firefighter has a very important job. Firefighter do. Let's look at the video. Very exciting. Here are firefighters. What are they doing? They have a really big hose. They're shooting water and they're putting out the fire when there's an accident near your house. Or for example, look like maybe a traffic act. There's a fire, dangerous chemical. They spray firefighter will come out and put out the fires. If there's a house in your neighborhood and catch on fire, and then the fire will come out, and you use water or something to put out that fire, and want to save people from burning buildings, and try to save people from burning buildings. The fire is very important. They are brave and they are very helpful to save our life. These firefighters put out fires and save people. They have doctor. There's a doctor too. A doctor shows is you sick or you go to see the doctor, and the doctor will course you and make you feel better. Doctors are also very important in our community. A police officer is keep us safe. Okay? The police officer will make sure the people are not driving too fast, that people are not doing stupid or silly things that are interesting. Will catch bad people and put them away in prison. Police officer will keep us safe. And then finally have a librarian. What does a librarian do? To a library, help us find books or information, not just books. I better have a didn't know her book is. Look on the information on the internet. Don't go library, and the librarian will help us find that information for us. You find out that information and need a lot of interesting and very fun information. Not gonna go to the library as a librarian to help you. So of these people are community helpers. They help us in the community. There's many people that just C4. Lots of different people in the community that help us every day. Are community helpers. People who help us keep us safe and protect us. How sick they have cares. They help us different lives. Help us be happy and safe. Okay, let's take a look at the question here. Look at the map and question. Look at where things are, what? Or something important information on the map. If you think about how the map is used, you should learn. It's a compass road. A compass road. Compass. We call it compass roads. A compass road basically tells you what is west, north, south, east, and west. Then turn the map, and you can see which way you're pointing, and that way you can figure out where things are on the map. You can find a compass road and figure out. Now, the important thing to look at is a map key. So the different symbols or icons tell you what these things are. Look at the map. It's a book. It's not a book. It's a library. And a host line on the street. A fire station. These are your symbols telling you what these places are. You see school, fire station, library, and over here is a hospital. Sometimes it's hospital, be hotel. And look at the map key to make sure what these symbols mean. Okay, our question is here. Here. That's the west, at the west of the school. I'll find where the school first. The school looks like this. I'll find the symbol of the map. How it's right here. And that's the school. What is the west of the school? It is north direction. That's north. The direction west is over here, and that's that direction. That's west, the school. We like this symbol here, not this symbol. It's big east, the west. Look on the west. West of the school. You find this symbol. It's marking the It's saying a symbol here. It's a museum. What is west of the school? Inside a museum. That's what we got right here. You see, it's kind of like a puzzle, isn't it? I find clues. Put all the clues together, and then you'll figure out what the answer is. Of course, you try to figure out in everyday life. Where's the library? That's near the subway station. Then use a map like a puzzle. You use all the clues, and you find out. Okay, let's move on to our choose four question. Number 1. A map is a place where people live and work together. Let's turn to a true-false question. A map is a place. A map a place? No, a map is not a place. A place you can go to. A map is a piece of paper. A map is not a place. Or community. Community. A community is a place, not a map. It's false. It's not a map, it's a place where people live. It's true. The river. River is the details of that place where I live. And then it's a detail. And not like you have to remember. If people live is a person, not the details. The details, what are the details of the place? Do you remember that? The address. My address. That's your address. The sentence was correct. My address is the details of a place where I live. A symbol is a sign. A symbol is a sign. A certain meaning. Is that true? Yes, it is true. It's a sign. A certain meaning. The symbols or sign, letter, code, and big picture does have a certain meaning. The symbol, and right away, what is it? The word. That's all the picture of school. Fire hose. A no railway, a school, a library, a fire station. Here I'm going to do the true got the picture. And that is the board. The letters. Now for vocabulary section, it's actual play and take a look at the readings. Now let's come to reading. Talk about people. Let's talk about places. And many people have many places. The kind of places in the community have a place like a school, a hospital, a park, and a library. There are many places. And there's a few examples of places. We are looking for a place. There's a library. Where's the school? Where's the park? You can ask a neighbor for help. Of course, in your community. Our place has an address, and the neighbor will tell you in the address to help you find the place. An address helps you. It helps you to help you find the place. And to find the place, you need to know the address. You can find the place. You can ask a neighbor. What's the address of some place? Where exactly? What's on 50 West? Oh, I'm in most part. You go down and find a number, and that's 50 West Park. That's the address. And the address of some place help you find the place. If you can ask the neighbor, that's one way to find out where these things are. And also by yourself is a map. A map is an important tool. As I before, it's a drawing, a piece of paper, an important tool to help you find where you want to go. Just an address, you find where you want to go, and can help you find where you want to go. Both things are useful for figuring out where to go and find the direction. Use a map. To use a map, in order to use a map, you should find the meaning of the symbol. Here's some corner of the map. A map key should show you the different symbols. I'll find the meaning of the symbols and of the map key, and the symbol then calls what that means. This is a hotel and blue circle near the red circle. It will be hospital. It could be parking, or it could be park. Now look at the map key to find out exactly what those the symbols mean. Understand symbols. By understanding the symbols, they put you in the right direction to find your destination. They understand the symbols mean. Looking at the map key, understand the symbols. That helps put you in the right direction. Now it's this way, and I'm put in the right direction. Now my definition: go this way, I go that way. I don't know it. Using the map with the symbols in the map key will put you in the right direction. You'll find your destination. That reading passage, reading skill is classifying them. Put things in a proper. Let's take a look. A community is where people live, work, and play. Okay, here have two different groups. Main group of the first groups complex. The second group is plexus. Now a nice idea. A community called two main things. Of course, in that reading passage, we talk about two main things. First, talk about one thing. Police officer, doctor, and street cleaner. As one group, a second group talk about as plexus. A school, park, library, etc. Her fill in blanks. The house is the helpers, clean and healthy. Let's take a look at the blanks. Maybe first, they keep us safe. They keep in community something. We talk about people. People, sometimes the people which was here is the same as a person or described. Hospital is a building. Is a place. Helpers are people. Let's make sure clean. Those is an adjective. Now something is clean, not dirty. And healthy is adjective, telling us where's healthy, we're not sick. So the only word that means people's helpers. The helpers in store. We think about that too. There's two main groups we talk about in the passage. First, we talk about people. A police officer, doctor, street cleaner. Those people are helpers. And second group, we talk about our plexus. We left this reading passage and two main groups. Yeah, first talk about helper, second talk about plexus. And that's how we can classify these things that we talk about in reading passage in two main groups. That classified about. Put something into a proper group. Okay, helper. They help, they keep us safe, and what help do they keep us safe and what? And say a passage because healthy, safe and healthy, safe and healthy. The police officer keep us safe, doctor keep us healthy. Okay, we keep the community what? See, a community clean. We talk about that. Let's see those people before. Talk about that. The reading passage. Who sweep the street? Pick up garbage, street cleaners. How keep the computer clean? Those are people. Those are different type of helpers. Are the plexus. Let's take a look at this one here. A community has a school, a park, library sector. For another example of plex. First, look at for A. I told you a hospital is a place. The community has a school, a hospital, a park, a library, and etc. Many other places. Okay? For instance, a fire station, park. Community has a school, library, etc. How basically what is the chart is I'm splitting the listening passage to main groups. As helpers one group and second group is places. You can see some details about helpers. Places, and let's fix an outer for classify reading passage. Okay, let's move on to a reading comprehension question. Number 1. A place has a RN. Let's come to a vowel. Has a RN to help you find it. Remember, we talk about